A very good morning to everyone here. We're just about to get the match underway between Rising Star Clubs and Tokyo Falcons. The Tokyo Falcons have won the toss and they've chosen to bat first. Of course, we're here for the JCL T20 League at the home of cricket in Japan at the Sano International Cricket Ground. We have the first over just about to be underway now. And here he comes in the attack. Good first delivery. Just a little bit of a bouncer there. You can see the Rising Star clubs, they want a good start. An early wicket would do them a lot of good. But ground two here. And interesting to see what the batting approach is because, of course, Tokyo Falcons have chosen to bat first. So they'll have a certain target in mind, they'll have an approach in mind, I'm sure. But here, the bowler in the attack once again. At this time, gets something on it, it's in the air. Goes towards the offside, and they'll get 2 runs off it. So good running between the sticks. Now here they come once again. 2 runs on the board. Now this time trying to swing, but misses it slightly. So good bowling, good start to the first over. It's the power play, of course, remember. 20 overs here in front of us. And it's very important that you get a good start in the power play. This time, get good contact. It's in the air. Is it going to go all the way? That's the question. And clears the fans. 6 runs now. So 8 runs on the board now for Tokyo Falcons. And a good six in the over. Suddenly, the power play is now showing its colors because they've gone for a biggie and got those 6 runs on the board. Very pleasant weather here, of course, in the morning. We play at about 20-21 degrees. It's 10 a.m. here in Sano. This time again, cuts it slightly. Square cut into the gap. Maybe is it going to go to four? Yes, it crosses the boundary. And that's 4 more runs. So now they're adding up the runs up to 12 runs. And now it's shaping up to be a good over for the Falcons. So now, once again, final ball of the over. In the attack now. And just defends it slightly. Just pushes it towards the leg. It's going to get them a single. That's a good start. Really good start. 13 runs of the first over. Falcons are in the driving seat. And do the Rising Stars have a response? Now we change ends. And we're going to go once again. So good start to the over. And now we're on to the second one. Now, once again, this time in the attack, look at that slower approach with the run-up. Just picks up pace towards the end. And he's just cut it slightly against the ground. Rushes off a single. So that's smart cricketing for sure. Really well played. Into the gap there. Once again, this time into the slot now. Good bowling. It's going to get them a single, but nothing more than that. It's a power play after all. So as long as you avoid boundaries. Oh, it's misfielded and it's gone for 4 runs. So it rushes away down the line. Thought the fielder would get to it, but the fielder does not. And that brings about 4 runs. So Bhuyan once again. This time better bowling by Bhuyan. So once again in the attack, Bhuyan. And this time he's hit it down the ground. That's going to find the gap. Where's it going to go? Is it going to go all the way for 4? Yes, it does. So another brilliantly played shot here. Brings again 4 runs. That's what they need. They need more of these runs, and they're putting up those runs early on in the power play. Really strategic approach. Bhuyan in the attack again. This time defended. Did he get a nick? Nothing on it. So that's going to be a good dot ball. So final ball of the over for Bhuyan. Now 9 runs of the over so far. Bhuyan in the attack, and this time another swing and a miss, but that's going to be wide, I think. Wide indicated by the umpire. Arman Bhuyan. Final ball of the over now. Anand on strike. This time Anand cuts it now, and I think that's going to go all the way for 4 in the gap there. Yes, it does. So another 4. Turns out to be an expensive over comparatively, and a really good first 2 overs for the Falcons. Brings them up for 27 for no loss at the end of 2 overs. So 2 overs up, 27 for no loss after 2 overs. Petkar and Anand, a good start so far. Now the question is, who's going to come back in attack? I think the responsibility is once again being repeated from this end. Interesting approach. "13 of the first over, 14 of the previous one." Now, once again, an attack, hoping to maybe crack something, maybe a wicket, maybe a chance or a breakthrough. And this time, was there connection on it? Nothing, nothing on it. Just a pad, maybe. I think that's what the umpire was indicating. So Mohammedul trying to maybe find some kind of gap, some kind of opportunity to get a wicket. It's just going to be effective for Mohammedul in the attack now. Once again, this time on the other side, it's in the air now. Can someone get underneath it? Nobody right there. Now just needs to get back into the crease. So for a moment, I think there was a slight scare for sure. Good over now by Mohammedul. Just one run off it. Petkar on the non-strikers and now 15 from 9 balls and Anand 12 from 5. Once again, this time, again, ball a little short. It's in the air. Who's going to get underneath it? The fielder takes that one. And with that, they get the first wicket. So Anand tried to strike big once again. But this time, it was not enough. And you could see shades of that delivery earlier with Mahmood's line and length that he was taking, Mohammedul. He was trying to create that trap. Did it once, did it twice, third time, lucky. And just tempted the batsman there. And they've lost Anand's wicket with that. The first wicket has fallen at 28. Mohammedul, really, really good comeback for him. So, you're batter at the crease now. Are they going to go with the same approach or is there something different in their mind? That is the question now. Siddharth is going to be on strike. 28 for 1 now. Beautiful scenery behind us. We can see here. Really nice weather. We're at the home of cricket in Japan. And now, good ball, good start by Mamadul. Just a little bit of a change of words. Of course, you remember, according to the points table, Tokyo Falcons are currently topping because they've played two, they've won two. So the top of the charts, and Rising Stars up down in last place. So they really need to buck up their game. Rising Stars get that important wicket here, but Tokyo Falcons, one of the best teams in the league so far. Of course, you ask what makes a team one of the best teams in the league off the bat of what? Well, you need to have star players. And they do have exactly those kind of star players, especially with the bat. You know, Tokyo Falcons, well, Sarfaraz Petkar, he scored the most runs in the league so far. So, 100%. That is the kind of addition you need in your team. Good bowling once again by Mohammedul. So, you can see here dot ball, a wicket, dot ball, a single, sorry, a wicket, dot, dot. And with that, another dot. The over comes to an end. Absolutely brilliant recovery over from Mohammedou. Just one run off it. And in the power play, still 28 for 1 in 3 overs. They'll be really happy with this over. Really, really well bowled. Now, Petkar, star striker, taking responsibility once again. They need him to get some big runs today. He'll be looking to cross a 50. Let's see how he picks up this time. Strikes well, and where's it going to go? Is it going to cross the boundary all the way? Yes, it goes for a maximum, and that's going to take the total up to 34. Up to 34 now. Good start to the over for the batting team now. And Petkar goes for a big six and gets exactly that. Once again, this time connects once again. Tries to go down the line. Where's it going to go? It falls just before. And it's going to go for six. Just across the boundary. Narrowly there. But gets them that six. So back-to-back sixes for Petkar. Really brilliant batting. This is absolutely brilliant to see. Forty up now for Falcons, and Petkar once again connects. Is going to fly off once again. Looks to be. That goes for another six. So Buyan has now gone for three sixes in a row, and Petkar's really enjoying himself. Gets his team up to 46, and the captain's just going to have a word with Buyan and a few other players as well. This time just gets down to cut it slightly towards the off. Is he going to find the gap? Brilliant. He found the gap. So 6, 6, 6, and 4. This is absolute fireworks that we're seeing here. This is the over that he's targeted. Petkar has decided to go big. The 50 comes up for the Falcons. And Petkar is up to 37 himself. What an over this is turning out to be. And this is spelling trouble for Rising Stars. Because if this is how it keeps up and you can't dismiss Petkar, well, you're looking for a long day ahead. This time gets it nicked slightly. Well, there they have it. We just talked about it, and is this the commentator's curse? Because 50 comes up, 37 for Petkar, and then just goes to slice it ever so slightly. And the wicket keeper, absolutely brilliant, takes that wicket. So Bhuyan, a very, very expensive over here, but he gets the main man. He's gotten Petkar at 37. And this might be a way back in. This might be the turnaround. And I'm sorry, Petkar, if the commentator was the one that cursed you, but ultimately the wicket's gone. It's 50 for 2 in the fourth over, and Bhuyan strikes. So, once again, this is high drama. So, new batsman on the crease. So, Siddharth and Kakkar now. Now, Bhuyan in the attack. Final ball of his over so far. The second over for Bhuyan comes to an end. The fourth over comes to an end. 50 for 2 at the end of fourth over for the Falcons. And well, just a little reprieve in the end for the Rising Stars. Bhuyan got the main man. And now we'll see the approach that Falcons have because Kakkar, 0. Siddharth, zero. Both have not scored any runs so far, so they really need to start finding their feet and soon. Otherwise, they'll lose this advantage that they've created on the back of Petgar and Anand. So, Siddharth now on strike, Kakkar on the non-strike side. Alamgir, the captain, now taking responsibility. He's in the attack now. Good ball. Really on the mark now. The captain trying to probably put pressure, make something out of the situation. And if they can get another wicket here, then there is some trouble for Falcons. So the rising stars, they know that this is the opportunity to double down. This is the time to strike. Can the captain do that? Tries to get something on it. Well, almost did. Almost did there. Wow. What are we witnessing here? This is an absolute turn of events. They're going back into the game with confidence. This time it's in the air, but it's not going to carry all the way. They get a single. Once again, Alamgir. Alamgir now just waiting for Kakkar to take his stance. In the attack now. Once again, this time just defends it. It's a good defense there. And look at the impetus from the captain, chasing after every ball, making sure there's no easy runs here. And that's what you want from a captain. You want them to lead and you want them to take charge. Once again, in the attack now. Look at that in the air. So that's a good start from Amgi. Nothing too much in the over so far. Well, just applying the pressure, just a single. Once again, and now look that narrowly missing. Just hit that leg there. They're going to go for that single. Are they going to get that single? Well, yes is the answer. Really good over. So, the over comes to an end, and a really mighty over bowled by the captain. The run rate is seemingly going down now. It is slipping, it's losing traction, and that's what Kakkar and Sadat need to discuss. That we need to make sure we don't fall in the trap of slowing down the run rate. 52 for 2 after 5 overs now. So, who's going to get the responsibility now? Looks like it's Sohag who's going to come into the attack. Now in the attack again. This time, look at that. That's a good connection. It's in the air. Where's it gonna go? It's gonna travel all the way. Looks like it's gonna come back. So good fielding in the deep. And they've got 2 runs off it. So now good start. Good shot there actually. So Sohag once again. Look at that. Good bowling so far from Sohag. Gets the slightest of edges there. It doesn't travel all the way. So the interesting approach is now the Falcons. Are they going to accelerate or are they going to take another over? Because this is the power play, remember. This is the time for them to get more runs. This is the time for them to cross. If you look at the run rate, well, they're well up close to about 10 runs and over still. So they're in a good spot. That is there. But that is because of the acceleration in the third over. The first 2 overs being pretty expensive as well. But since then, it's calmed down. Now, once again, Swag in the attack, and look at that, almost got something. Almost got the wicket there. So look at the bowling. They get a single here. 2 runs off the first ball, remember, now a single. It's catching up. The pace is slowing down, and really good bowling now by Rising Stars. What do the Falcons have in store now? Just gets a slight cut there. It's going to go behind. There's a third man there. Man in the deep makes sure it's only a single. So 4 runs off that over. And it's 56 for 2 at the end of 6 overs. Just a little bit discussion now between the batters who's gonna approach. I think the captain's gonna come back. He's just setting the field. So Alamgir, the captain's gonna take responsibility to come back into the attack, and he bowled really well in the previous over. Again in the attack now. Look at that, good bowling once again. Very difficult to play those loose shots there if the bowling is so tight, and that's exactly what we're witnessing. Absolute, absolutely well bowled. Gets a slight cut on it now. Another single. So they're getting those singles. Got a leg by earlier, single now, which is good. It's a good start. Can they get a boundary? Is the question. Cut up to 4 from 5 now from 10 balls, and Siddharth up to 2 from 8. Siddharth needs to accelerate a little as well. Sid on strike now. Look at that. Good connection this time. It's going to get a single. So the fielder there just edging it a little bit, just tempting the batters to go for that single. He was ready to throw it back on. So now it's going to be a little bit easier for them to take singles. You understand, players are going to be outside the inner circle, but a lot more tougher to get those boundaries because it's now normal field restrictions. And with that, well, hits his leg, but he was off the crease, you could see, and he was much, much wide of the stump. Gets another cut now. So another good over comes to an end for the bowling side, and it's 60 for 2 after 7 overs. Now the Rising Stars are going to be happy. They're controlling it a little bit. I think you can see that Kakkar and Siddharth are much more focused on building a partnership here. They want to probably just take it down to the 10th over, and maybe then you will see them accelerate a little. They have wickets in hand, but they don't want the wickets to go tumbling down, do they? That is the question. Now, Sohag comes in the attack again. Second over for Sohag. Really good first over, remember? Just setting his field. And Kakkar and Siddharth now on the crease. Kakkar on strike. Good rotation of strike once again. That gets Sid on strike. 1 run added to the board. But good bowling. You can see the improvement in bowling as well as confidence for the Rising Stars. Sohag now once again. This time, well, there's an appeal, there's a shout, but the umpire's not interested, and it comes back to the wicketkeeper. So they take a single off it. The umpire was not interested at all. Looked at it, said, please continue. That was not an LBW. This time, swiping at it. Nothing doing there. That's going to be a wide, and they're going to happily take those extra runs. Sohag once again in the attack. This time, well, that was tempting. He tried to tempt the batter into getting some kind of contact there, and that would have nestled into the gloves of the wicket keeper there. That's exactly what they wanted. Sohag has really been outstanding today. You can look at that into his second over, just 7 runs given so far, especially considering how expensive the early overs were. Now it's hit down the line. It's going to go to long on. It's going to get them a single. This time out towards the leg. That's a really good shot by Siddharth. Is he going to go all the way? Looks like the fielder's going to get there first. They're going to get 2 runs. Nothing more than that, but still really, really well played. So Not the best fielding there, ends up giving up 3 runs, and Kakkar is now on strike. 7 runs in the over so far. Once again, now it's going to go towards long off, gets them a single, and that's going to be that. So that brings the 8th over to an end, and it's 68 for 2 at the end of 8 overs. 2 overs done for Sohal. Now, the captain back in the attack now, up for his 3rd over. Alamgir now in the attack. Just gets something on it, Kakkar. Once again now. That's something ever so slightly. Alamgir into the attack again. And another piece of slight nick. It could have easily gone to the stump. So he's really bowling really well. You can see here. Kakkar and Siddharth now trying to form that partnership. Nine runs and 8 runs apiece, trying to form a good partnership between the both. Alamgir just singled so far. It's been a while since they've got a boundary, and that is something that they need probably. It's going to help their confidence, going to help the run rate as well. Close to the halfway point of the first innings. Ninth over here in front of us, 10th over right after this one. Alamgir in the attack again. This time, good bowling, just hit it towards the line there. And it's not going to get them any runs. Final ball of the over now. Cuts it ever so slightly. They're going to go into the gap. I think the fielder's favourite there. Sending it back all the way. It's just a single. And with that single, the over comes to an end. 5 runs of the over. And it's up to 72 in 9 overs. So, just a little discussion before the 10th over starts. Remember, that's the halfway point, if you say so, of the first innings. Just a little discussion and setting the field up. Now, Shimul in the attack. First over for Shimul. Kakkar and Siddharth up to 11 and 9 respectively, forming some form of a partnership here between them. They've, of course, taken some balls, just get going. But now it's the time maybe to accelerate, or maybe after this over, we'll see. Now, once again, try to cut off it. Gets a slight nick. Man in the deep, making sure it's only a single, but they get that single. Now, once again, Shimon looking to attack. Where's he going to go? Is he going to ball on the legs? Is he going to go for a little bit of a wide Yorker? Look at that spin. Really good spin there. Looking to play it late. Again, Shimon in the attack. This time playing on the back foot. We can see ever so much he's growing in confidence. Just trying to pin back the batsman there. Siddharth now on strike. This time just plays it on the ground. It's going to be another single. So they're racking up the singles. That's good enough as of now. That's important. They need to make sure that they get those singles, get those runs, if nothing more. Good bowling once again. So that brings the 10th over to an end in front of us. It's 77 for 2 at the end of 10 overs. Really good bowling by Shimul once again. Just 4 runs off it. Kakkar now 13 of 25 and Siddharth 11 of 15. Now we're going to start the second phase. Looks like Captain's going to come back in the attack as well. Alamgir. 77, a really good score in 10 overs if they can accelerate from here, I must say. This time it's in the air. Well, can someone get underneath it? The fielder's getting there, but couldn't grab that one. That was a little difficult. Alamgir in the attack again now. This time sliced it, square cut, some version of it. It's going to get them a single. So singles are coming in. You can see that. Now the question is, can they find a boundary that's going to give them a little bit more hope? That's going to, just increase the confidence a little, I'm sure. Looking to step up to it now. Sid steps out, trying to just attack the ball early and gets those 4 runs. So that's the boundary they needed. That is what they wanted. And they finally got in that. That's what they were waiting for. And he took the impetus there. Took a little bit of courage from Sid, but got that 4 runs. Now, in the attack again, this time just defends it. So, good over now. So, just changing up the setup a little bit. It's turned out to be an expensive over the previous one. But they've got the wicket. They've got an important wicket here. And ultimately, Kakkar is dismissed. So Kakkar has lost his wicket. Sid still at the crease at 17. Kakkar's wicket is gone at 14 runs. So that is what they needed. They need to break this partnership. Now it's in the air again. Where's it gonna go? Is it gonna travel all the way? Goes and gets them a couple of runs. But really important wicket there. This is what they needed from the captain. And the captain makes sure to disrupt the partnership there. They get the third wicket in the 11th over. And now, once again, just looking to build the partnership. Now, just a little bit of exchange between the fielders. Now, Shimul in the attack again, and this time Siddharth just looking to take a single. Bisht goes down the line towards the leg side, rather, actually. Now, just trying to nick off it towards the leg, finds a gap there. Gonna get them a single. Good ball this time. Try to launch it. Gets contact. Bish just trying to maybe find the gap, but not trying, not succeeding there, rather. That good ball by Shimul again. He looks in a mood, doesn't he? He looks to be enjoying himself out there, Shimul. And he's in a good mood. Shimul now once again in the attack towards the leg, trying to find the gap. To get that single, Sid had to rush back, and it's going to be just that single. Nothing more than that. And there it is. Well, he did strike. He struck again. That is exactly what they needed, didn't they? They needed something else, and they've got exactly that. So, look at that. The rising stars just a little bit happy with themselves there because they've struck once again. That brings Shimul's over to an end. So it's 88 for 3 after 12. They tried to maybe, I think they tried to convince themselves that they've gotten the stumping done there. The umpire was not interested. It's not going to be a wicket, it's not a stumping. And Zubair now, the new bowler with the responsibility, pitched at the non-striker's end. Sadat on strike. It's in the air now. Where's it going to go? The fielder's getting underneath it. It's going to carry all the way. Yes, it does. That is a brilliant strike from Sadat, and that's going to be a maximum. 6 runs more added in to the total, and that's a great start for the batting side to this over. Tokyo Falcons, remember, they chose to bat first. They won the toss, chose to be in this position, and currently I think they would be decently satisfied. They've not reached the highest of highs that they could. But 94 for 3 in 12 overs, it's a good position. I'll take it. They can target something around 160 or to 180 odd, depending on what kind of acceleration they can do. But with that, now, I think the umpire is just indicating something. I think the ball has just gone out of bounds. They're just looking for the ball there. In the meanwhile, Sid just getting refreshed. Looking for the ball, maybe start with a new ball depending on how old of a ball they have. Do they have a 10 to 12 over ball ready? If not, they're just looking for the ball in the wilderness there. That's the kind of six that he hit. They've lost the ball, it's out of bounds. Someone's going to go and fetch it. Someone's going to be a hero here. But Siddharth, in the meanwhile, just gets to rest. And so does Bish. They can just talk it out, talk strategy, get themselves ready, and be in a position. So the ball has been found, and Zubair is now in charge of the ball. Back in attack for his second ball of the over. We're going to start again. We're getting underway. Zubair now. Just sweeped at it there, Siddharth a little bit. That could have been risky. That could have gone anywhere. Gets them a single. This time, once again, well balled on the leg, just putting Bish under pressure. He plays it behind. There's a man at slip, and it's only going to be a single. They've already got 8 runs in the over so far, courtesy of those 6 runs that they scored off the first ball. Really good shot by Siddharth there, and that is what puts them in this handsome position here. Closing in on the 100 mark. Good ball, just hit it off the gloves of the wicket keeper, and they're going to sneak a single there. And the wicket keeper is in pain. He's in massive pain there. I think he just got hit a little bit off the edge of the bat, probably, or maybe the ball just comes directly onto the fingers. We need to see what happened exactly. He is in pain. Zubair now just setting up the fielding once again, I think. Just getting used to what he prefers. It's very important that the bowler is happy with the field set. Bish now on strike after that 4 runs. Zubair in the attack. Final ball of his over. Gets a single there. They're going to get a single. Are they going to come back for two? No is the answer. So that brings this over to an end. And it's a really good over. Really, really huge over for the batting side because the 100 comes up and it's in the end going to be 102 for 3 at the end of 13 overs. This is the kind of over that they were longing for. This is the kind of over that they needed. Now, it's going to come back again. And now, Shimul in the attack again. Shimul has been given the responsibility of the next over. Can he create the difference? Can he open something up? But now, Bish has hit it down the line on the leg side. Where's it going to go? The fielder just trying to get on top of it. A little bit of a misfield there, but they don't go for that extra run. That was a good shot. Really good shot by Bish, but I think he didn't time it as well as he would have liked. But it doesn't go away for a boundary. Once again, Shimul in the attack. This time cutting it slightly. Gets a single. Once again, Shimul in the attack. This time it's in the air towards the leg. Where's it going to go? Is it going to carry all the way? It's high up. The field is trying to get underneath it. They're going to get 2 runs off it. But I think that's going to be that. So, no boundary once again. 2 more runs added to the board. They're in a good position now. They're building ever so slowly. But they're having those overs in between the gap where they're getting those 10, 12, 13 run overs. Once again, now in the air. Just a single. This time gets better contact. It's in the edge towards the leg side. Where's it going to carry? It goes for a maximum. So Bish gets that contact that he was looking for right earlier as well and gets a big six in the over. That brings the over to an end. 12 runs of this over as well. That's six, really changing the landscape of this over once again. Look at that, just looking for a change in gear there, but takes them to a really good score now. At the end of 14 overs, it's 116 for 3. Bisht up to 15 of just 8. Siddharth up to 33 of 29. So, once again now, fast bowler in the attack, brought out to create a change. Sohag now just trying a different approach. They're going for two, and I think they're going to get there. Rohit Bisht and Siddharth just, rotating strike well. And Sohag has been given the responsibility to break this partnership up because they're forming something strong here. They're close to 30 runs between them as well now. And they're close to the 15th over now. So let's say they're close to 120, 125 at the end of this over. They can easily take it to 160, 70, 80, and that's going to be a really good score on this surface. And that's the worry that's there. If you're on the bowling side, if you're trying to get those wickets for the Rising Stars Club, you need to strike in the next two overs. You need to get some kind of opening. It's in the air now. Siddharth towards the gap. Is it going to carry all the way? Yes, it does. That is it for a maximum, and Siddharth gets a six for his team here. Brilliantly placed. So now Siddharth, with that six, has become the top scorer of the team so far because we lost Petkar at 37. So that's up to 41 now and 124 up for the Falcons. The decision of batting first so far looking to be the right one. Slower ball this time by Sohag. He read that one, almost got his wicket. Almost got what he wanted. He's a smart bowler. He's a crafty one, isn't he? This time, swiped at it slightly. Trying to maybe find an opening, maybe some kind of. Sohag in the attack now. Click something on it, and now just a little bit of confusion. But I think it's going to run all the way. So that runs for four. I thought they were looking for a single there, but runs all the way for four. So 12 runs of the over now, and Sohag, well, he's not going to be happy with that. He is not going to be happy with that at all. It's in the air now. Another brilliant connection. Where's that going to go? That goes for a maximum again. So 6 more runs now. So that is a brilliant, brilliant over for the batting side. Really expensive over in the end. And Sohag, well, with the great first 2 overs, he just lost the plot there a little bit. 134 for 3 at the end of 15 overs, and we thought they'd be somewhere around 115 to 120, but they're up to 134 and they're in a really good position now. The Falcons 7 wickets in hand as well. Are they going to accelerate from here? Even more so. Change in the bowling attack now. Sato has been given the responsibility. His first over here today. Can he bring about something? A wicket, a break in partnership, something. Good ball by Sato, but played timed perfectly there by Bisht. It's going to be a single, and that's going to be about it. Singles are fine. Singles are fine when you're finding that 1 boundary per over. It's not the worst thing in the world as long as you keep your wickets and target the right bowlers. Sato in the attack again. Sato, once again, a single and 2 runs so far. The 50 has come up for Siddharth after this. And Siddharth up to a really good spot now. 50 cross for him. Wished up to 16. This over, looking more of an over to settle things in. Not trying something too exuberant. Sato in the attack now. Looks to play it towards the leg side. So a single, 2 runs, and a leg by so far. I think it's decent considering we're in the death overs now. This is the 16th over, of course. So singles are fine at a point like this. Sato just wants to make sure there are no boundaries. And this time it's hit on the full toss. It's in the air. Fielder underneath it takes that one, and there they get the danger man. Siddharth's wicket has been taken. That's exactly what we're talking about. If Sato could bring about a change in partnership, could break this partnership, could maybe take a wicket, and he does that. He delivers 5 runs of the over, and then he takes that important wicket of Siddharth, who's gone at 53. So is this another change in the momentum? What a brilliant ball. Just, unsettled Siddharth a little and ultimately takes that wicket. And Sato, final ball of his first over now. At this time, there's an appeal, but I think it's going to be high. The umpire's not interested at all. That brings a really brilliant over by Sato to an end. Just 4 runs off it. 5 runs off it, actually. And a wicket. It's 139 for 4 after 16 overs. Bisht is now on strike. That's in the air now, hit down the line into the gap there. Can the fielder get there? Yes, he does. They're going to come back for two. They need quick running. And they do that. Bisht and Kolal. Kolal, the new batter. And Mohammedul back in the attack after the first 2 overs. Remember, the first over was really good for Mohammedul. The second over turned out to be expensive. Now he's here for the third one. Just end his spell in the death overs. Slow ball there. Mohammedul once again in the attack. And look at that. Good bowling. So, pitched up to 20. Kulal just taking the stumps, the crease here. Mohammedul, good over so far. Not a lot of runs off it considering death over. That is what you need from a death bowler. You need to get wickets, and if not that, at least contain the runs. They're looking close to 150 now. Good connection there by Kulal. That's going to go towards the leg side into the gap. Just a single. 5 runs of the over so far. Good ball, really good ball there by Mohammedul. Just missed his target a little, you could say, but still good bowling overall. Mohammedul looking to attack once again. The attack now, defended well by Bisht. It's going to get him a single, just pushes it slightly towards the offside. The ball just running all the way. You can see no fielder there at mid-off, and that is where you can get these singles. Final ball of the over here for Mohammedul. You assume he'll come into the attack once again. And 7 runs of the over so far. Really good over. And they're going for a second one. That'll be 8 runs in this over. A little loose on the fielding there. It's 147 for 4 at the end of 17 overs. They need to target the next 3. They need at least 10 per over to reach the target that they wanted. Gets them to closer to 180, which is what I'm sure the Falcons would want. Let's see how they approach it. And let's see who steps up. Now in the attack once again, Mamadou. Oh, that's going to be a no ball. That's a slip from him. That's going to be a big no ball. And a free hit indicated as well. So extra runs may be on the cards now for the Falcons. Can Bish make the most of it? You know he has the energy. You know he has the power. Catch that connection on the full toss, and that's going to run down the ground. Is it going to go all the way? Yes, it does. 6 runs. So that turned out to be expensive for Sato. That just slip, a little bit of a slip of the ball, going for a no ball, and that's cost his team 7 runs. And that brings the 150 up for the Falcons. It's up to 154 now in the driving seat. And they started this over exactly how they wanted. Look at that Bish swinging again, once again, but smartly. A slow ball, a slower delivery from Sato. The attack now, once again. Just a slip and a miss. And now gets a good connection. Well, that's going to go somewhere towards the boundary, and 4 runs it is. So good running between the field here. Final ball of the over now for Sato. 12 runs of the over so far. Good connection by Kolal. That's going to get them a single. Are they going to come back for two? That's the question. Looking like they are. Feeling in the deep. And Vish and Kolal make it back in time. So, good over for the batting side. That's 6 and a 4, really helping. Overall, good bowling by Sato in gaps. But a few loose deliveries. Takes it up to 14 runs from that over. And they're up to 161 for 4 at the end of 18 overs. Now, into the attack, Mamadou. It's in the air now. Where's it going to go? Fielder tried to get underneath it but could not grab that one. Mamadou in the attack once again. This is going to be the final over of his spell. The 19th over, the responsibility given to him. He's been decent so far, except for that one over. Just 24 runs so far, considering the grand scheme of things, considering how the Falcons have played. Overall, really good. Indication from the umpire there. No ball and a free hit. This is a chance once again. Well, look who's on strike once again to face the no ball. It is Bisht. Is he going to go long once again? Is he going to try and get a big one? We'll see how he faces it. Is he going to go and hit it on the full toss? Look at that. Gets a good connection, but I don't think it's good enough to go all the way. Does find the gap there a little bit, but the fielder was ever present. Once again, gets good connection. And that's maybe found the gap there. The fielder not being able to get to that. So that brings them that 4 runs that they needed. Exactly what they wanted, exactly what they needed. Takes them all the way up to 169. They're really racking up the runs now. Kulal has done a good contribution, 10 runs. Bisht 34, Petkar 37, 53 from Sid. All the batters have really stepped to the fore here and they've performed under pressure. They want the 2 point. That's a good connection from Kulal. Is he going to fly all the way? Yes, it does. That goes for a 6. So Mohammadul, the last few balls just turning out to be expensive now. He survived the no ball. He survived the first few balls, but now a 4 and a 6 back to back. 175 come up on the board. 1 ball to go. And another over after this. They're looking for something big now if this keeps up. They need Mohammadul to recover something in the final ball. It's turning out to be an expensive over. 175 now. 14 runs of this over now. And another good connection in the air. Is it going to go all the way? Looks like it might. That does cross the boundary. 20 runs in this over. Kulal finding his groove. The same shot again and again. Mohammadul bowling in the same spot. He needed to do something different, some variation. But he didn't alter the pace. And 20 runs in this over. 181 now. 80 crossed. 180 crossed now. 34 for Bish. 22 of just 8 balls for Kulal. 19 overs up. It's 181 for 4, and they're looking at 200 now. At this rate, they're looking at 200. Who's going to get? It looks like Zubair is going to be bowling the final over, but oh my. What have we seen in these last 2 overs? So, start with the over now. And what a start it is. Well, they're in fire. They're on fire. It goes all the way. 6 confirmed. So, we start with a 6. 187 on the board now. This time a swing and a miss, but you can see the intention. They're going for the big ones only. Bished up to 40 now, just 24. Kulal 22 of 8. Are they going to cross 200? Against the ground now. That's going to go for 4. So, finds the gap brilliantly, and it's 191 on the board now with 3 balls to go. Wow. What an end. What an end we've seen here. Absolutely demolishing batting here. In the air now, I don't think that's going to travel. Looks to find the gap. 1 bounce actually and gets them 4 straight down the line. Well, just so comfortable there, Bisht. He looked extremely comfortable. No stress at all. 195 now on the board and 48 up for Bisht. Are we going to see 2 batters complete their half centuries here? Anything can happen. Well, absolutely anything can happen. 2 balls to go. Bisht facing Zubair. Zubair opting for the slower run up. I think he's gonna reduce the pace, but the connection is pure once again from Bish. That goes for a maximum, so that brings the half century up for Bish and the 200 up for the Falcons. They're up to 201 with one ball to go. What a finish this has been! This has been an onslaught. This has been a one sided rowing. And well, 20 runs of this over. We spoke about it. The possibility was always there. 20 runs to go. 20 runs of this over. One ball to go. Zubair. Well, my, oh my. 2 overs almost. 33 given already. Final ball of the innings. And what a connection to end. That's going to go long. That's going to be a six. Isn't that going to cross every. I think it took a bounce in the end. Well, looks like it would go all the way, but did not. 205 is the score set up. 206 to win for the Rising Stars. And they are in trouble because this pitch, well, it's not easy to cross 200 here. The Falcons have done it. They've put themselves in a really brilliant position. And now the chase is on. Chase is on. Well, it's not over till it's over. That's what it is. Rising Stars need to look at that. They need to see how the last few overs just got away from them. Forget all of that. Now focus on your batting. And now we'll be back very, very soon for the chase because it's going to be exciting. Trust me. 205 on the board, 206 to chase for the Rising Stars. See here once again, 37 from Petkar. Anand with a small 12 runs. Anil Kakkar with 14. They made their contribution. Siddharth with 53. Kuldeep Bisht with 58. And Paveet Kulal with 22. Absolute demolition here. What a performance. What an absolutely brilliant performance. And we're about to begin here. So, we're about to get underway. Here you can see 206 is the chase in 120 balls. Nearly 10 runs and over is the required run rate for the Rising Stars as the Tokyo Falcons set up this mammoth chase up for the Rising Stars. We're about to get underway, starting with Babu bowling the first over. Now in the attack. Good start, good start. Remember, it's the power play. Good start by the bowling side. Now in the power play. I think he's just missing his run up a little bit. Twice he's just, gone around and stopped midway of a dead ball. Kumar now. Babu Kumar against Hussain and Alamgir, of course, the captain on the non-striker's end. Decent shot there, but wouldn't fetch them many runs. In the attack once again, look at that, the way it just swung in, almost got him. Caught him off guard there. Wow, that had a lot of swing on it, didn't it? That's a good swing. He's got a good connection. Is it going to go all the way down the line? The fielder's trying to get there. And he does get there in the end. Well, that's good fielding in the deep. Now, in the attack again. Look at that. Tries to just get something off it towards the leg. Another single. So slow start comparatively from Hussain and Alamgir, but the Rising Stars racking up the runs step by step. To attack once again. Good ball once again. So a good over comes to an end. Just two of the first over. Hussain and Alamgir a single run each, and two for no loss after the first over. Now just look at that. There's something going on with the run up of the bowlers. Now, Tilang in the attack. Look at that, just goes a little wide there. I think wide's going to be the signal. Yes, it is. Now, once again, look at that. Another swing. It's just swinging more than he wants it to. It's a little bit out of control. So, a couple of wides. Needs to cut out the extras and to make sure that doesn't happen. So, good return ball. So, 2 runs so far. And there it is. Well, they strike. They strike and get that important wicket. They get the important wicket. The captain is gone. That's exactly the kind of start they needed. Couple of wides so far by Telang, and then you thought maybe this over could be a little bit expensive, but then a dot ball, and now a wicket. He's got him. He's got brilliantly bowled there, and now 4 for 1. They get the captain. Wow. So they lose a wicket early, especially in this big, huge chase. That's going to be an interesting approach now. Now, Telang back in the attack. You have Toha, who's joined Hussain on the crease. An interesting approach now will be, are they going to go a little bit slowly, or are they going to be able to accelerate? Good ball once again. Good shot. Now that's gone down the line. Is he going to get them a boundary? It's the power play after all. The fielder's trying to get there. Once again, Telang in the attack. Now that's just about the wicket keeper. Just about the wicket keeper there. So you can see wide, dot ball, wicket, dot. What an over. What an over we've seen from Telang here. And that brings the second over to an end. It's 5 for 1 at the end of 2 overs. That one wicket that he took, really important. And they've really started slow here. Much slower than they needed. Remember, they need about 10 runs an over. That's what they did. The run rate is shooting about 11 now. This is the power play. This is where they need to try and get those runs in. This is where they need to make sure they don't lose a lifeline. They can't. The problem or the predicament that the Rising Stars face now, they can't afford to lose a wicket because that's going to put them on the back foot. But they can't afford to not score runs as well. What are they going to do? Let's see. Kumar back in the attack now. Babu Kumar now. Good first over, remember? Now in the attack again. Toha now. Good connection there. Where's it going to go? Looks like a fielder's getting there, and he does get there. So just a single. Good connection there. Confident playing there by Toha. He could be a key figure here in the chase for the Rising Stars if they want to chase this huge total down. Remember, Rising Stars are down in seventh, last position on the table of the JCL T20 League. Meanwhile, you have the Tokyo Falcons who are up in the first position with 8 points. They're really doing well. 2 games played, 2 games won by the Tokyo Falcons. We are, of course, at Sano International Cricket Ground, the home of cricket in Japan. And now, Kumar once again, good connection. That's in the air. Where's it going to go? Is it going to go all the way? No, the fielder, well, he catches that, and that is a wicket. Well, Hassan looked to go all the way, look for a big one, but the fielder actually grabs that one in the deep, and they've got another wicket. This time, it's Kumar. So it's 6 for 2 now, and they've really put themselves in pressure now. Wow. Well. This is really strenuous now. This spells trouble, maybe huge trouble for the Rising Stars. They've lost their captain, Alamgir, and now they've lost Hussain as well. Toha at the crease now, and looks like it's going to be Shimul who joins him. Shimul joins Toha at the crease, and they really need to build some kind of partnership here if they want any hope of chasing this huge total down. It's not going to be easy. It's a difficult task, maybe improbable also at this time, but they can't give up. They have to fight till the end. That's what sports is about. That's what cricket is about, and that's what they're here for. They're here for the win, and they have to give a fight. Shimul and Toha now. Shimul facing off Kumar. Kumar in the attack. Just lost his footing. I think the batsman was not ready as well. So now, Kumar in the attack. Shimul just playing off that first ball. Just happy to defend there. Now, once again, Babu now in the attack. Look at that, just nicks it ever so slightly. in the attack once again. This time gets a good connection, but it actually flows behind. Is it going to run all the way? Is it going to run all the way? That's the question. Good connection there once again. So there it is. That brings the Nova to an end. Shimul still yet to get off the mark. You can say a couple of buys, of course, in that last previous over. But Shimul up still at 0 of 4 balls, and Toha 1 of 5. He looked to have good form earlier, but hasn't been able to get those runs in. Now, Telang back in the attack. Swing and a miss there. I think that's going to be a wide. Yes, wide it is. Now, Telang in the attack again. Shimul and Toha just at 9 so far. We're in the fourth over. Remember, they need to get something huge of this over, otherwise, they'll be under pressure. Need to get something. Look at that. Good connection there. Where's it going to go? Is it going to go all the way? That goes for 4 runs. Well, that is good. They need more of that. They need absolutely more of that. Well. The one Sometimes that one boundary is enough to kickstart and just send you up in a confident manner. Let's see. This time connects once again towards the leg side. It's gonna beat the fielder there. Yes, it does. So 4 more. That is what they need. And Toha is now picking up ahead of steam. That is what they wanted. They need those runs. The run rate is up really high, isn't it? They need close to 12 runs and over now. And if they get a couple of good overs, they can try and get the run rate a little bit down. That's what the aim should be for now. Good connection once again. Gotta get another 4 runs, so it races away. It's 3 4s in a row after that brilliant first over from Telang. Suddenly, he's going for those big runs back to back to back. Once again, tried to find the gap, but this time the ball just kept low. And that's going to be the end of the fourth over. So they really got important runs in this over. 14 runs in this over takes us up to 22 for 2 at the end of 4 overs. Imagine they were at 8 runs at the start of this over. They're up to 22 now. In the attack now, once again. This time, good connection once again from Toha. Is that going to go all the way? Yes, there's a six. So he hits a six to Babu of all people, Babu Kumar, who had a really, really good over so far. Good first 2 overs, actually. Comes in for his third over. He's gone for a maximum. Is that what they wanted to avoid? They've got some steam, they've got some confidence as well. That is what we're seeing here. This time, better bowling, but that's going to maybe run all the way behind. Can the fielder get there in time? They're going to come back for two, but that might run for four. It just stops in the outfield there. The umpire was a little upset with himself, you could see. So, picking up some steam now, aren't they? They really, really are. Once again now. So, a good ball now. But after that, a six. That is exactly what you do not need. If you're bowling a couple of good balls and then it goes for a six, it really puts you in a difficult position. Kumar now once again. Couple of sixes in this over. There's an appeal, but nothing of that. So that's gonna bring this over to an end. That brings the fifth over to an end. It's 36 for 2 after 5 overs. The last 2 overs turning out to be really expensive in the end. Now, Telang in the attack. This is an important over. This is going to be a really important over from Thailand. So 4 runs. That is exactly what the batting side needs. Shimul now kind of getting underway as well. Really good four there. So Thailand turning out to be expensive in the spell. Not the way he started. He needs to buck something up. He needs to take care of something. And once again, trying to find the gap there. Is he going to do that? That's the question. And he does. Shimul gets another four. Something is not working for sure. Wow. This is this is a really good position that Rising Stars are in, because they were at 8 runs in close to 4 overs. And now they've gone to really good overs, and this is turning out to be a good one as well. 8 runs in this over. This could very well bring them back in the chase. They need a wicket now, don't they? The Falcons need a wicket now. They need to break this partnership, especially Toha seems like the danger man, or they need some variation in their bowling. Gets a slight nick there. Once again, just a switch in field there. So, Telang in the attack once again. This time, just towards the mid off. Gonna get them a single. You can see just a little bit change now of the field once again. The right hander and the left hander. This time, good connection. Ultimately, going for another single. You can see the constant shuffling across that the players are having to do because of the change of strike. This time, good connection once again. Player there just making sure it's only a single. Look at that. The umpire just signaling a change in the setup and maybe the field setup as well, because the power play has come to an end. So it's going to be 46 for 2 at the end of 6 overs. So setting up the field setup now. Now, setting up the fielding now. So, 46 runs in 6 overs. They are in a good position right now. They need 160 more runs in 14 overs, up to about 11.5 runs an over. The run rate will obviously stay steady because it's not an easy position chasing 206. But the question in case is, if they maintain this partnership for, let's say, 12 to 14 overs, till the 12th or 14th over, if I say so, can they chase this target down? It's a mammoth total, of course. Shahane now, the new bowler in the attack. Gets a good strike there. Just a single. Once again, now good swing. That's gonna maybe go off towards the leg side. Get them 4 runs. They're really on an onslaught now. They're really playing confidently, especially after those early wickets. Wow. In a great, great position. 4 runs more. The 50 comes up as well. And now, if this continues, it could really be troublesome. Really, really troublesome. Shahane on the attack now. Once again, Shimul trying to find the gap. Now, Shimul on attack. This time, tries to swing on it, but just misses it slightly. The keeper just happy for the ball to settle there. This time, it's going to be a wide. This is off target here. And with that, well, they've struck. Shahane has done exactly what they needed. And well, that is what they wanted. That brings the 7th over to an end. Shahane 12 runs in this over. Not as many, but still they're running close, par to par with the required run rate. It's 58 for 2 after 7 overs. And the Rising Stars, well, they are slowly and steadily building themselves back into this game. Shimul up to 19 from 14, Toha at 28 from 19. Who's going to be the next bowler? That's what we're going to see. Who's going to take up the responsibility? "58 for 2 in 7 overs now." With the attack now, just gets that slight edge, slight nick. It's going to run behind. They're going to get a single. They're getting those singles in, they're getting those twos in as well. And then in every over, they seem to get one or two boundaries, which is keeping them on par to the chase and sometimes even better. Just making sure that the pitch is not having any kind of, let's say, debris. Shimul and Toha. Toha has been the center of this rejuvenated striking that the rising stars are doing. They looked in a very, very dangerous place when they were at 8 for 2 after 4 overs. But since then, they've got on so much momentum, so much form and confidence. It's almost put them back into the game. It's still a very, very mammoth target to chase, but they're going about it in the right way. Mishra now, get that cut? No, nothing on it to impress the umpire. But Shimul, I think, he thought he could have maybe just nicked it slightly and it would have run for 4. That's what he would have wanted, I think. In the attack, once again, here he comes. Again, tries to try the similar shot, tries to go for the similar shot here. Shimul just missing it 2 times in a row, and Mishra will be happy with that. It's his first over, of course. Single off the first ball, and then a couple of dot balls, so he's going to be happy. He'll take that very happily. Here comes Mishra once again. This time stepping to it, just moving off his crease a little, Shimul, and managed to play it towards the leg side to get a single. Mishra now, just setting the field up again. Here comes Mishra. And that's off the top of the edge, not the best connection, but it does go down the line. It's going to bring them a single. So Soha and Shimul rotating strike and rotating it well so far. 61 comes up, final ball of the over. Just 3 runs of this over, so comparatively a really, really good over. A few singles and a few dot balls. Final ball. How's it going to end? Good ball once again. So really good over. Much needed here. 3 runs off it for the Falcons. And it's 61 for 2 at the end of 8 overs. Remember, we were at 77 for 2 at the end of 10 overs for the Falcons in the first 10. They can reach that and they'll then be in a very good position to chase down the rest of the target. And also, of course, remember there were about 60 runs that came in the last 4 overs. That is something to consider as well. Just waiting for Bish to get ready. Bish is going to be coming in now for his first over. Remember, really good contributions from Bish with the bat, 50 plus runs. Now, getting matched with the ball as well. Bish in the attack now. Bowling to Toha. Good slow delivery to start there. Once again, this time, bamboozling the batter a little bit. Toha unable to play that one. Bish, really good bowling. Every good over that the Falcons are able to draw out, that puts them in a position to win this because they need about 11.5 to 12 runs and over to just match it on par. That's the score that they've set up. Bish once again, scramming the ball, changing the field. Two runs of the over so far in the first four balls for Bish. Really good over so far. Can he keep it up? And now it's in the air. It's hit hard by Toha. Is it going to go all the way? He's trying for a maximum there, and it does. Well, this is the kind of shot that makes a bad over a good one. Just two runs of the over so far, but on the penultimate ball, Toha goes and gets a huge maximum, a sixer, which takes it to 8 runs already in this over now. He's going to go for another one, I'm sure, this time trying to find the gap. It's only going to get them a single, I think. Yes, it is. Still, 9 runs on this over. Mainly because of that 1-6. That's how important one shot is. One shot makes a very bad over into a decent over. They still need 12 per over. They're still 3 short, yes, but they could have been far more short in the end. So the score is 70 for 2 at the end of 9 overs. They're going band for band. They're going par so far. Remember, we spoke about this earlier that the Falcons were at 77 for 2 after 10 overs. So they're all in the same ballpark. They've really, really caught up, especially after those early 3 to 4 overs where they hardly had any runs. So they've played much, much better in the rest. Toha now facing off Bisht. And well, there it is. There's a shout there. Well, well, well. They've the one in the attack now after Bish. They've given the responsibility. There was a huge shout. There was a lot that happened there. From the moment it looked like it got the wicket, but it didn't. It flew through. Then it looked like it got into the hands of the glove. So the question was there a nick? I think I heard someone out there appealing maybe for an LBW as well. Mishra now in the attack. Tried to hit on the full toss. It's going to go behind. Will get them the single run. Slow overs are good. Breaking momentum is good for the Falcons. Wide is the indication. So Mishra back in the attack now after that wide. Is that going to be another wide? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So extras now racking up, and that's exactly what you don't want to give. You don't want to give extras. They're up to 73 now. Mishra once again, this time coming back with a better ball, with a much, much better ball now from Mishra. Rotating strike once again for another single. So a couple of wides helping out this over so far. So now Mishra in the attack once again. Get something on the leg side. That's a really good shot. That's a good cricketing shot. But there's someone in the deep. And the question is, have they caught it? Have they caught it? Have they got Toha's wicket? Looks like they have. Looks like the fielder there has come clutch and done an amazing favor to his team and to Mishra, because they've dismissed Toha 38 from just 28 balls. And he looked to go for another 4 on the leg side there, but just flies towards the hands of the fielder. And ultimately, the important wicket has fallen, 74 for 3 for the Falcons, watching on as the Rising Stars now at 74 for 3. 9.5 overs, just one ball to go before semi break, if you say so, for the halfway part of the first innings. Just getting the field ready, just getting the batsman ready as well. Good ball, a really, really good ball there. So, with that, an exciting over, an eventful over comes to an end, and there we are at the halfway point of the first innings. 10 overs are done, 10 more to go, and well, the chase is on. So, Bush now taking the responsibility again. Once again, now with that, it comes to an end. So, we're about to start the next over. Shimul and Sohag out there. Shimul up to 22. Sohag, the new man at the crease now. Shimul just trying to cut it. Just trying to instruct Sohag what to do. Shimul on the non-striker's end, of course. Get that one run now. Good play. Start the 11th over. They have to start accelerating in another few overs. You know that they have a huge target in front of them, and they have to chase it down if they want to win this game. Bish now. Second over for him. Look at that, just got down so hard. Shimul actually who's trying to play that shot. Once again, this time towards the leg side. Where's it going to go? Is it going to get them a single or maybe something more? Fielder sends it back. And there's an appeal. There is an absolute appeal. But the umpire is not interested. You can see Bisht animated there. Because with that, his over comes to an end. Just 4 runs of his over. Absolutely brilliant over under pressure in a critical time like this. It's 78 for 3 after 11 overs. So now, change of ends, and we're ready. Mishra's going to come back for his third over now. They're bringing him back rapidly because he's been excellent. And now, try to play him towards the leg side there, Sohag. Try to be cheeky and gets him that 4 runs. A lot of times, being cheeky helps out, doesn't it? Four coming off the first ball there. Into the attack, the bowler just waiting for the field setup to be done. So 4 of the first ball, then a single, dot balls, all of that change in field setup as well from a left-hander to a right-hander. You expect that, don't you? Now, Mishra, third over for him. 83 for 3 now on the score. Mishra on the attack. Gets a slight nick on it. So, Mishra's come back well into the over. Went for a 4 early on, but then a couple of dot balls, single here and there, and he's just trying to set up a good platform for the rest of his bowlers. Now, this time slower ball, but he's timed it well, Shimul. He swung it well. Where's it going? Where does it go? Takes a bounce and goes for 4 runs. So now, again, very important runs there. Extremely important for the chasing team. This time wide and just cuts it, gets down to cut it, Shimul, and brilliantly played. These guys are on form. They're really playing such positive shots. And that takes it to about 10 runs. Yes, confirmed 10 runs in this over. 2 run shot, but still a good setup, a good target that they're chasing you. Just field setting once again as we get the 12th over to the close. 88 for 3 after 12 overs. The 13th over now going to start in front of us. This is what it comes down to. We're inching ever so closer towards death overs, and now Bisht once again in the attack. see. Once again, just sliced it slightly. There's a few combinations that we're seeing fixed here. They're recurring, of course, aren't they? This time gets a good connection. Is there someone in the deep? No, it is. It's gonna clear the fence, and that brings them 6 runs. Gets that big six, of course, doesn't he? Gets that big six. Now, pitched in the attack again. 111 to 45. You can see right there. There's an appeal. There's a huge appeal, but the umpire's not interested. Not interested at all. In the air again. Where's it gonna go? Goes for another six. So Bisht, who'd had a great spell so far. There's two sixes that he goes for and a single in this over. And now the 100 comes up as well. 101 for 3 in 13 overs. They need another set of 100. They need 105 in 42 balls now. They've taken 78 balls to reach 100. They need to do it in almost half the time. Can they? Is the question. They need about 15 runs in over. Consistently, that's the question. That is the tough part. And one or two good overs might change the landscape once again. Now, here he comes in the attack. Ever so slightly, there's a shout there, and yes, the nick was there. So that is the wicket. What an important wicket there. Shimul is gone at 30 runs. What a start to the over from Kumar. Needed a wicket, needed to break this partnership up, which had been budding for a long time and it had blossomed. And now, just the slightest of nicks, the wicketkeeper extremely aware to catch it and ask for an appeal, and that brings the fourth wicket out. Is that a dagger? Is that the dagger in the hearts of the rising stars? Now, new batter at the crease, isn't it? New batsman at the crease. Setting up the field once again. Sohag is still out there, but they've lost Shimul. Mohammed now coming out. He's looking to produce something with the bat as well as he did with the ball. Mohammed on strike now. Cuts it slightly to the gap now, maybe. 104 now, once again. This time, swing and a miss. No shout, no voice, no sound. Nothing to check there. looking to stop that run there, and that overthrow could turn out to be expensive, but they don't go for that single. So Mohammadul and Sohag at the crease. Kumar bowling once again. Got slightly no runs there, no dice for Sohag. I think he'll want to hog strike for a little bit because he is the experienced batter at the crease now. Cuts it ever so slightly once again. So they got some runs, but overall a really, really good over. That brings the over to an end. Just 2 runs off it. Absolutely monstrous over. And it's 103 for 4 after 14 overs. 100 runs needed now in the last 6 overs. It's getting tough. It's getting really tough. They need to accelerate. They need to go for the big ones. It's do or die time now for the Rising Stars. The last 2, 3 overs for them during their bowling, where they end up giving 20 runs per over, that is the difference maker in the end. That's the expensive part of it. Well, nothing you can do now. Now, into the attack again. The Falcons, they might look for another breakthrough, won't they? They would want that. If they manage to get so hard here, then they're in a really strong position to defend this total. In the attack now, once again. So, Kolal now, remember, added really crucial runs, 20 plus runs in under 10 balls in the end. And Kolal now with the ball, trying to do his part here as well. Look at that bouncer. Very difficult to play for Sohag. Just gets something on it, plays it against the ground, runs across for a single. In the attack now. In the air, where's it gonna go? Fielder's trying to get underneath it. He does that. He does that. He stops the potential boundaries there. In the attack once again now. Playing in the similar area, you can see what they're trying to do. Mahmoudul and Sohag just exchanging strikes here, a single, a double. But the problem is that's not going to help them. They need 15 runs, 16 runs per over. So need to go big or go home. That's all it is. So that brings it about to an end now. And with that, I think they're really bringing themselves back into the game, aren't they, the Falcons? There's a huge total to score. There's not a lot of balls left. Towards the end of the 15th over, Just a little bit of discussions in the middle of the park. You can see between Mohammadul and Sohag, 107 for 4 in 15 overs, 5 more overs to go, 30 balls to go, 99 needed. It is a huge ask. It's not impossible. Wicketkeeper just getting himself in position. Now in the attack, this time it's in the air. Well, where's it gonna go? Are the fielders going to be able to get to it? Yes, he has. So you can see that's exactly what they needed, and they have done that. Mohammadul has been dismissed as well. The fielder gets to it. It's 107 for 5. Now it's getting tougher by each ball. Sohag still at the crease. Sohag still fighting for his team. Just a little bit of a hydration break, if you say so. It's very common and trendy these days. Hydration breaks. You can see them in the FIFA World Cup globally as well. But here, the players just needing a tad bit of hydration. Of course, they're playing under the heat here. Now, look at the setup once again. The umpire just making sure things are all set up before we get underway once again now. Hassan and Sohag, all to play for. Oh, that's a good ball. That's a good ball. Just enticed the batter a little bit. If you had gone for a nick, it would probably have landed into the gloves of the keeper. Setting up the stumps now. You can see that attempt there earlier. 97 they need to win. It's so difficult. Those last overs, the death overs, were so crucial to add an extra 40 to 50 runs at the very least. Hassan and Sohag now in the attack now. This time, slower ball, try to find the gap there. I think he will this time. Yes, 4 runs for Hassan. 4 runs on the board. 113 for 5 on the board. Well, they're not going to take the wickets home. They know that. That's what they're taking those risks as they should. It's not working out as of now. They had a good spell in the middle overs, but ultimately the target seemingly just too large. 99 from 26 balls now. They need a hero. They need someone to step up, maybe bring about a huge over of about, let's say, 25 to 30 runs. They need to do that a couple of times to get back into this race. And with that, well, they've caught him in the deep. He went for another big one. They've caught him and they have dismissed another man, haven't they? Just waiting for the umpire's confirmation. And yes, there it is. 6 down. They've lost another man. Well, that was bound to happen as you have no other choice but to try and go for the big shots all the time because you're chasing such a large total. So I'm still at the crease. Now, looking to attack once again. Here he comes. And swing and a miss. That's going to be that. Huge total to chase now. Shaken so hard. 130 for 6 after 16 overs, 93 to win in 24 balls. It's not impossible, like you said, but they need a lot of magic. They need some juju. They need whatever they can get. Rabbit's foot, whatever else. 4 overs to go now. Good strike. Into the gap, I think. Is that going to get them 4 runs? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A little too less, too late, is it? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, to get a few singles, maybe. Is it going to run all the way? Currently, just adjusting. Get that 4 earlier in Kulal's over. Kulal coming in for his second over, of course, which is going to be the 17th over. Just 3 overs after this. Just 3 overs. They need a huge total still. Just a little bit of a discussion there, I think, between the players. Just setting something up. Curious, actually, the lengthiness of the discussion that they're doing when they're already in such a stronghold position. Now, in the attack. Here he comes again. Just waiting for it. Now he's ready. Facing Boyan because they've lost Sohag in the previous ball, the wicket of Sohag, which was the crucial one, of course. They're down to 7. 117 for 7 now. Not a lot of balls left, and they're in a position. And there you go. Trying to get something on the boundary, and they have lost another man. Well, there's no choice, is it? They have to go for big shots in every single ball. There's no other choice, no other way. And ultimately, 117 for 7. 17th over going on as well. A little bit of irony in that. You have to say, I think the slow start that the Rising Stars had played a little part in this because at the first 4 overs they'd only scored 8 runs. And I think, secondly, those 40 odd extra runs that they gave in the final death overs, they had a couple of overs with 20 runs, and that just added the pressure. Let's say the score was something around 160, 170. Let's assume that there will still be 50 more runs that they need, but the way they played the game, Rising Stars, would be different. The way they would start would be different. The amount of risk they would or would not take, the trade offs, all of that is a little different. When the target you're chasing has moved goalposts, that is what we, of course, know about any sport. And here, I think the umpire just rushing on the new player, just saying that the time is done. Either send someone, you know, say they're on a clock, They need to finish the innings, of course. We have more matches coming up here in the JCL T20 League right after this. Of course, the umpire knows. 117 for 8 now in the 17th over. Kulal now. 2 wickets. He is on a hat trick. Look at that in the air. Can someone get on top of it? No. And the run out maybe on. Oh. Well, the excitement there just made me spill a couple of words out as well. But the run out was on. The throw was not perfect. Was far from it. But they know what position they're in. Now, just a little bit of discussion once again. I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe just a little bit of the equipment of the player there. 117 for 8. On the 17th over now. Sheikh and Sato right there. Kulal now just setting up the field once again. Final 2 balls of his over. Is he going to bowl more overs? We do not know. Maybe. Maybe he's coming back for the 19th over. We shall see. Now, again, this time goes for a swing there. It's in the air. Does someone get underneath it? No, he cannot. Not sure. Maybe he did actually. Yeah, when you think about it, yes. Ultimately, does do exactly that. Really good fielding in the deep, time and again from the Falcons. And they get another dismissal. Now the finger goes up. It's 117 for 9. Well, 3 wickets in this over already for Kulal. One of them being a run out, of course. So we're down to the last wicket. This has been a one-sided game for most parts of it. There were times when the rising stars were in the game. There were times when they were giving a fight. There were times when they might have thought maybe this game is there for us to win. But then it just slipped away from them in multiple moments. And this was then just transcending into a one sided game. 3 wickets in this over already. 1 ball to go for Kulal. Slower ball this time. And that's going to be that. Zubair leaves it. So 117 for 9 now in 17 overs. 2 more overs to go. 3 more overs to go. Let's see if the batters stay at the crease for that long. Well, of course, down to the last wicket. Now, setting things up, the umpire just signaling something, maybe regarding the time as well. We'll see. Now, good ball, good start to the over here. Sheikh facing off now. Swings once again. It's in the air. No man's land there. Happy to take that one on. So a dot ball, a single, and another dot. This time it's in the air. It's onto the ground and then in the air. Shahan is just here for his second over, of course. Now, once again, this time a slow ball. And did he get something on it? I don't think he did. Good bowling by Shahane. Of course, quick bowling as well. So Bayard just trying to maybe get some runs, help his team on the run rate factor. And now this time there's a call. The call is there, and well, that's gonna be that. So the umpire signaled that that's the end of the over. 118 for 9 now. That brings about the end of the 18th over. Now, once again, this time, oh, that's a bouncer. That's a heavy, heavy bouncer from Kulal. Well, what are you going to say, right? Sometimes just, unpredictable. That's going to be a wide. 119, the score. Just one wicket to go. Can Kulal take that wicket in this over itself? That's the question now. Swing and a miss now. If that was on target, it would have been a completely different ball game. So look at that. He's just smiling a little bit. He knows how close that was. Just finishing the match up there. Kulal in the attack again. This time swings it well. Is there someone in the deep who can get on top of it? They're going for a single. It's only gonna be that. Now it goes for a four. Four signaled by the umpire. The fielder couldn't stop that one in the end. He was just looking for confirmation and it runs away for 4 runs. Really good hit. Really good shot, actually, if you think about it. Kulal once again in the attack. This time on the crease. Get something on it. A bye maybe signal. Just gonna be a single. Or they're gonna come back for two. So a no ball signaled as well. I think that's going to be a free hit. This is turning out to be an expensive over, unnecessarily from Kulal actually, considering on what place they are. 83 needed of 10. They've won the match effectively. Now, good bowling this time. Really good bowling. This is the 19th over, of course. Good ball once again. They tried to look for a single there, but ultimately no dice and didn't want to risk it actually. Looks like they want to play out as many balls as they can because every run might be crucial in the battle of run rate in the end. 80 needed of 8 now. The game is long done and gone. There's 8 more balls to be played if they can survive through all those balls. This time another swing and a miss and into the wicketkeeper's gloves. He's happy to collect that one. Kulal once again onto the attack. This time, swing and a miss again. You see how narrowly it missed the stumps there. That was almost game over. But that brings about the end of Kulal's over. It's 126 for 9 at the end of 19 overs. Now, this is the final over, of course. Here we go. The 20th over is upon us. 126 for 9 at the end of 19 overs. And now we begin the 20th over. Shake up to 7 from 10 balls. Zubair, no runs yet. He's just surviving. He's trying to rotate strike. I think he's just trying to get Shake on strike now against Shahane. Spin there in the air. Dot ball. This was Well, let's looking at the match so far. This was honestly very importantly set up by Petkar in the power play itself. Those big runs scored early. He scored 37, but 20 plus came of it in one over alone. And that really set off a confident path for the batting team where they maximized the power play. I think that was a crucial setup where they could make the most of the power play. And after that, the second most important point was towards the end, those final 3 to 4 overs where they scored 60, 70 odd runs, like we discussed, which completely changes the landscape of a chase like this at a ground like this. And that is what put up this in effect. And then the slow start from the Rising Stars, just 8 runs in the first 4 overs, a couple of wickets as well. Just put them on the back foot throughout, and there you go. There you have it. Bowl them. That is that. That's the end. Zubair just trying to play through that one, but was not able to. It's 126 all out in 19.4 overs. That is it. That's the end. They win by 79 runs. That is a margin victory. That is a massive victory for the Tokyo Falcons. They won the match by 79 runs. We just look at the leaderboards, we just look at the scorecards, all of that in a moment. But till then, really well batted, really well bowled, amazingly fielded as well. Tokyo Falcons have really soared up high and fetched their prey. They've taken the rising stars out of the grass. They've fetched their prey. They've gone up. They've won, and they've flown again into the soaring sky onto the sunset. They won today's game by 79 runs. Just look at the scorecards and everything. But overall, I think it was a really good game of cricket. I hope everyone who joined us enjoyed the game as well, at least as much as we did here. But absolutely brilliant to see this level of cricket happening in Japan and continuously these games being organized. Of course, the JCL T20 is now live, and ultimately, this just shows the amount of talent at display here. Tokyo Falcons winning by 79 runs, of course, we discussed. Talent from all around Japan coming in and playing such brilliant cricket. You can just look at the scorecards. This middle order is the one that did perform. Toha 38, Shimul 30, and Soha 25. Everyone else stumbled far too early comparatively, and especially captain and, well, the opener. Ultimately, that was a crucial point in deciding the factor of Tokyo Falcons winning this game today. Well, 126 all out. That's that. You can look at this: 3 wickets by Manjeet Kumar, 2 wickets by Kalal, and 1 wicket each by Dev Mishra, Nilesh Shahane, Telang, and Punneet Kumar. Really bowling by Manjeet Kumar. 3 wickets for economy. He has been the star of the bowling side. Ultimately, that is that. This was the fall of wickets. This was the change in momentum and fall of wickets. Especially look at the 16th and 17th over. 5 wickets fell in a massive succession. Well, what can you say? Ultimately, the better team won, and that is what matters. Congratulations to the Tokyo Falcons. That has been that. This was your commentator Sahib. This was an amazing match, amazing match to cover. We have a few more matches coming up. Don't go anywhere. But for now, this is me signing off. I'll see you back again in very less time. But hope you enjoyed this match and join us for the next one as well. Thank you.